Hey there everyone, I'm Ashley Bullington and you're watching The Campfire. This week, we break down one of the toughest but most successful districts in the entire state, District 21 6A. District 26A is the Greater Houston Area District of Doom, and these are the teams that you'll be seeing after realignment.
Westbrook, North Shore, Humble, Atascocita, Kingwood, Summer Creek, and C.E. King.
Wow, what a district. I personally can say that I am excited for that Atascocita North Shore District showdown. Vote for who you think will take the district crown on our Twitter account. It's at IHSS Houston. We also have a quick trivia question for you.
What television series is Todd Lowe best known for his role as a short order cook in? A. True Blood, B. Gilmore Girls, C. Shooter, or D. Point of Impact?
Sorry guys, I think my trivia questions keep getting a little bit harder. Sorry. Not really sorry though. But if you think you have the correct answer to that trivia question, go anywhere you can find The Campfire. We have Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. And leave a comment with what you believe the right answer is. Also, if you're a podcast person, you're in luck. The Campfire comes in podcast form. You can go to Apple Podcast or Spotify and see our entire catalog of Inside High School Sports podcast. Now it's time for the film session, presented by your local Geico offices in Cypress, Katy, Spring, and Pearland.
The newly formed District 21 6A might not just be the toughest league in the Houston area, it also has an argument as the most difficult district in the entire state. 6 of the 7 teams reached the playoffs a year ago, and the 7th, Summer Creek, made the playoffs in 2017 and 2018. Let's start at the top, where North Shore has won back-to-back state championships. The Mustangs defeated Duncanville in the 6A Division I title game for the second consecutive season, and North Shore's on-field leader is back for his senior season. Quarterback Demetrius Davis looks to lead the Mustangs to his 3rd state championship, and he has a number of key weapons back with him, most notably wide receiver Shadrack Banks and Charles King. Atascocita fell to North Shore in the regional final last season, and now the perennial powers find themselves together in the same district. The Eagles went 12-2 in 2019, while averaging 56 points per game. That high-flying offense must replace 7 all-district performers who graduated, including quarterback Bryce Matthews. But there is still plenty of talent returning for Atascocita on both sides of the ball, with 6 total all-district honorees back for AHS. Humble had one of the area's biggest turnarounds last fall, going from 5-5 in 2018 to 10-3, and reaching the 3rd round of the playoffs in 2019. It was the Wildcats' first trip to the playoffs since 2010, and there's plenty of reason to think Humble can make a return trip. 4 all-district standouts return to give Humble a strong core to build around. Kingwood has made 5 consecutive playoff trips, and the Mustangs hope to make it 6 straight this fall. Kingwood started last year with 3 straight losses, but the Mustangs found their stride and won 5 of their next 6 games. 5 all-district performers are back for Kingwood, as the Mustangs look to extend their string of postseason appearances. Summer Creek just missed out on a playoff berth last season, as the Bulldogs struggled to a 4-6 campaign with a young roster, but expect a more experienced group to have more bite in 2020, as 5 of the 7 Bulldogs who earned all-district honors will be back in a Summer Creek uniform. Rounding out the league is Beaumont Westbrook. The Bruins reached the 6A Division title game in 2018 and followed it up with a 9-3 season last fall. It's amazing to think there are only 4 playoff spots to go around, so some quality programs will be left out from this loaded district.
And special teams are made up of special players. We take a look at a few from District 21 6A and our players on the rise, presented by Grimaldi's Pizzeria.
North Shore dual-threat quarterback Demetrius Davis is going into his senior season with the Mustangs, hunting for a 3rd state title. In 2018 and 2019, Davis has a career 5,743 passing yards and 1,592 rushing. He also has a career 100 touchdowns in his time leading the North Shore offense. Davis recently committed to Auburn University. Summer Creek wide receiver Elijah Bean is one of the best in the greater Houston area. The Bulldog was voted first team All-District as a junior and is looking to take Summer Creek the distance in 2020. Bean had 21 offers to play college football and is committed to Baylor University to continue his football career. As a junior, wide receiver Robert Williams stepped up for Humble. Last season, Williams had 18 receptions for 521 yards and 8 touchdowns. He averages 26 yards per catch. He also was utilized defensively for the Wildcats in 2019 and has 11 college offers. Atascocita tight end Landon King is one of the best in the state. Committed to Auburn University for the 2021 class, King is looking to take Atascocita all the way in one of the toughest districts in the state. Last season, King had 53 receptions for 853 yards and 9 touchdowns. He was also voted first team All-District for District 22 6A. Quarterback Cameron Kitchian will be a senior this season for CE King. Kitchian threw for 727 yards in 2019 and 7 touchdowns. He added another 4 rushing touchdowns to his stat line as well. Kitchian is just as impressive off the field as he is on the field, as he'll be graduating with his associate's degree.
And those athletes accomplish great things on the gridiron, but do you know somebody from the high school sports scene accomplishing great things in your community? A player, coach, or team going that extra mile. Nominate them for our Chevy Spotlight. To nominate, go to IHSSChevySpotlight.com and stay tuned to our social media accounts to see if your nomination is highlighted. Now it's time for our Media Day segment where we talk to coaches about their teams and the district they have coming up for the 2020 season.
Ashley Bullington here with the new Kingwood head coach, Kel Melton. Coach, congratulations on your new gig down here in Houston.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you, Ashley. This is, it's been a dream come true. I've always wanted to be a head coach and have an opportunity to lead a team, and being at Highland Park is and under such a great man like Randy Allen has really helped shape me and allow me to kind of reach out and branch out from where I was at. So I'm really excited. I'm excited to get down there because of the academic and athletic success that Kingwood's had. I just want to be able to come in and be a part of it.
And Kingwood had a pretty successful season last year. So how excited are you to kind of build on that program and bring your coaching philosophy to the Humble ISD to Kingwood?
Well, Coach Campbell did a great job, and he's been there for a while, and he built that foundation. He's built the foundation. He set the bar, the tradition that they have, and so what I hope to do is just come down and bring some energy, and bring some enthusiasm, and sometimes change can be good, and bring that down, and just bring a little bit different philosophy maybe than what they've had, and try to build on the success that Coach Campbell's had, and so we're going into a tough district, but we're going to work hard. We're going to do the little things right. We're going to be about fundamentals, and doing the little things, and I believe that will help us build on what they've already had.
And what do you know about the team that you're inheriting, and how excited are you for this first season of being a head coach?
Well, I'm excited because I think I believe we have like 8 and 6 starters back, so 8 on offense, 6 on defense that played at some time, and a couple more that played at certain times, and so I think that by having a good senior class, I think we got 36 kids, seniors coming back. That'll be seniors this year, 26 returning lettermen. And so I'm excited about that. I'm excited about the fact that there are good numbers, and we're going to try to build on that. and I'm also excited about the fact that they have so many returning starters, and so they've played varsity football, they've had experience, and so now, being able to get in there, maybe change philosophy up a little bit. We are going to change our defense up a little bit, and offense, and so, but to build on what they've already had. But I'm excited, extremely excited about the opportunity to work with these young men, and to see them, I'm ready to get out there and see them on the field.
A tough district coming up for you and Kingwood in the 2020 season. What do you know about these teams in 21-6A and the competition that you'll be seeing week in and week out in district play?
Well, I mean, in this district, and I believe at 21-6A, you've got North Shore, who just won his back-to-back state champions. You've got Atascocita, who has been really, really good. You have Beaumont Westbrook. You have C. King. You have Humble. I mean, Summer Creek. I mean, there's not a team that can't compete for an opportunity to even win the district or get in the playoffs. And I think this district is very, very tough. I think that anybody who gets into the playoffs is going to have an opportunity to make a long run. And so, you would definitely have a tough road, but you know what? We're gonna get after it. We're gonna work hard, and we're gonna do the little things right and give ourselves an opportunity to compete. And that's what we want to be able to do. And so, our vision is about is building champions. We want to be champions academically. We want to be champions, in the community, but we want to be champions on the field too. And so that's where we're headed.
Coach, thank you for your time and joining us here on the Campfire. We'll be right back after a couple messages from our sponsors.
Chevrolet Inside High School Sports is brought to you by your Houston area Chevy dealers. Visit your nearest dealer to test drive our award-winning products. The film session is presented by your local Geico offices in Cypress, Katy, Spring, and Pearland. To get more information or a quote, go to geico.com/Houston. The Players on the Rise is presented by Grimaldi's Coal Brick Oven Pizzeria. Grimaldi's Pizzeria is open for dine-in, carry-out, and delivery. Visit grimaldispizzeria.com.
Welcome back to the Campfire. In District 21-6A, we all know about North Shore and Atascocita. But what about Westbrook, Humble, and Sheldon King, and all the other amazing teams that you'll be seeing in the 2020 season? We have a man who will answer all of your questions. Now it's time for the district breakdown. We welcome in Inside High School Sports Insider Matt Harris to answer those questions for you and break down District 21-6A more in depth. Matt?
Thanks, Ashley. I've been looking forward to this preview since we started these back in late April, and the time has finally come. This district caught my eye more than any other when the UIL released its district realignments in February. 21-6A features 2 of the 4 teams that played for a 6A state championship in 2018 in Galena Park North Shore and Beaumont Westbrook. Throw in the perennially strong Atascocita Eagles, and we've got one of the most talented districts in the entire state. The state championship potential from this group is unrivaled. So let's start with the back-to-back 6A Division I state champs, the North Shore Mustangs. I don't know for sure that I'm the first to say this, but I haven't heard it anywhere else. I think if Demetrius Davis leads North Shore to a 3rd straight state championship, he's on the same level as legend Kyler Murray in my mind. Murray won 3 straight state titles from 2012 to 2014, and as we all know, went on to win the Heisman Trophy at Oklahoma and was the #1 pick of the NFL Draft in 2019. I don't know if the same level of success is in store for Davis at the college and professional level, but his name could be remembered as one of the greats to ever lace them up in the state by season's end. Davis, an Auburn commit, will have his top target back for a 3rd straight year in Texas A&M pledge Shadrack Banks. The duo absolutely torched the rest of the state as sophomores en route to their first state title before Banks missed most of last season with injuries. The Mustangs need to replace talent on the offensive line and on several spots on defense, but the overall returning talent should have North Shore making another deep playoff run. Chris Ross and Denver Harris will lead the new guys on defense, while Jaden Roberts, another Auburn commit, will lead the young offensive line. Despite the holes, I have North Shore joining Allen as the only teams to ever win 3 straight state titles in Texas's largest classification level. While North Shore won its state championship showdown in 2018, district mate Beaumont Westbrook did not. The Bruins lost to North Shore in the regular season before making a run to the 6A Division II state game, where they lost to a good Longview team 35-34. Also, unlike North Shore, the Bruins couldn't make a repeat appearance at state in 2019, but it's not like that's an easy task. Last season yielded a 9-3 result with a loss to Straight Jesuit in round 2 after Westbrook graduated a talented senior class. Unfortunately, the Bruins will be young again and will be replacing a quarterback for the second year in a row. LSU commit Bryce Anderson will play safety at the college level, but will take over at quarterback for Westbrook this season, while Jamichael Foxall and Jordan Guidry give the Bruins two solid options at running back. Andre Dennis and Javon Sorrell out wide gives them an envious amount of talent at the offensive skill positions, but those two in particular are young guys who will need to learn fast. The good news is Westbrook has the lowest enrollment in 21-6A and will be able to take advantage of a less talented Division II. Part of the reason you want to be in Division II is because teams like Atascocita can't get past round 4 when I believe the Eagles would cruise to state in Division II. But we divide things up by enrollment for a reason, and Atascocita will compete in Division I no matter what happens. Atascocita returns an impressive amount of skilled talent outside of quarterback. Wide receivers Keith Wheeler and Landon King, another Auburn commit, return after combining for more than 1,000 yards last season. Quincy Thompson and Tyrus Winfield combined for nearly 1,000 yards at running back as well, all of whom should help ease the transition for a new signal caller, which very well could be Gavin Sessions. Like North Shore, the defense and offensive line will be inexperienced, but returns key players for each group to build on. Cam Dewberry has long been one of the most recruited offensive linemen in his class, and Nico Campbell and Jack Holm return as starters to lead a young defense. With all that being said, not returning a starting quarterback is huge, and I don't quite see a way for Atascocita to win a district with North Shore returning what they have, but you never know. Mark the Eagles down for a second place finish and a deep playoff run that could result in another showdown with North Shore. Those three squads, North Shore, Westbrook, and Atascocita, are the reason why 21-6A will be one of the best in the state, but the talent behind them isn't too bad either. My pick to fill the final spot is a team that won 10 games a year ago in the Humble Wildcats. The backfield should be a strong point for Humble as Jeremiah Price Knott slides in at quarterback after getting some good experience last season in a backup role. Joining him in the backfield will be Xavier and Xavier Sidney, who split carries a season ago, and guys, let me tell you, as a twin, I feel your pain having to share everything. In addition to those three, Robert Williams made the all-district team at wide receiver last season, and Humble returns what should be a good offensive line. The defense will need to replace some key starters and will be led by lineman Jordan Hall. It should be another good year for Humble after making the playoffs for the first time in nearly a decade last season. I've got the Wildcats making it 2 in a row. If any team is to disrupt another potential playoff season for Humble, I think it'll be the Wildcats' crosstown rivals and the Summer Creek Bulldogs. Summer Creek returns an immense amount of talent on offense, led by a 3-year starter at quarterback in Brian Bush, and he'll have plenty of weapons. That starts with Elijah Bean at wide receiver, who caught more than 30 passes last season, and Torrey Curry returns at running back after a 14-touchdown campaign in 2019. They'll be protected by a great offensive line led by junior Kelvin Banks, who will be able to pick just about any college program in the nation to continue his career at when it's all said and done. The defense is quite the opposite and will need some work as that unit returns just 3 starters. They'll be led by the return of Kobe Sebastian King at safety, who was arguably the Bulldogs' best defender a year ago. Summer Creek will need to beat Kingwood and C.E. King to have a chance, but if they do, circle the showdown with Humble on the calendar because it could decide who gets the final playoff spot in 21-6A. However, beating C.E. King and Kingwood is no easy task. There are really no bad teams in this district. C.E. King returns 11 total starters and brings back players in the most important positions. That starts at quarterback with the return of Cameron Kinchin, who has all the important weapons back. His backfield mate Jarrell Wembley accounted for more than 1,000 yards a season ago, and Cody Rassi is a dangerous weapon at wide receiver. Factor in a good line, and C.E. King continues the trend of explosive offenses in this district. The defense returns plenty of starters as well and will be led by Will Evans, who was a Division I recruit. King should be right there with Summer Creek and Humble competing for the final playoff spot. We round things out with Kingwood, who returns more starters than any other team in the district. The Mustangs bring in a brand new coach with championship pedigree and former Dallas Highland Park defensive coordinator Cale Melton, who inherits a run-based attack. Kingwood relied heavily on a two-back system that saw Casey Duplichin and Nick Burnell combine for more than 1,000 yards last season. As for the receivers, Jack Dugas was an all-district selection, and he'll help out JP Mendoza at quarterback. For the defense, Grant Mize is versatile and can play just about anywhere on the front seven, and was an all-district selection last year as well. Kingwood returns plenty of talent, but I don't think it'll be quite enough to match up with the rest of the district. Either way, I expect some great games. 21-6A features 3 of the top programs in the state, followed by an intriguing group of 4 teams that all return a good mix of talent. But I have Humble as the best of the rest to take the final playoff spot. My 21-6A prediction is another district title for North Shore, followed by Atascocita, Westbrook, and Humble. But don't be surprised if Summer Creek or CE King makes a push for that final playoff spot. That leaves me with my team and player to watch. I want to give a shout out to Beaumont Westbrook because I'm excited to see if they can make another run at state in Division II after being bounced early a season ago. But Beaumont falls just outside of our coverage area, so I'll keep it to the teams that fall in the greater Houston area. For that reason, I'm going with the Humble Wildcats. Humble will be tasked with fending off a hungry group of contenders for the final playoff spot, as I just discussed, and I think they'll pull it off, but it's not going to be easy. Because Humble is locked into Division II, I'm also interested to see how much noise they can make in the playoffs, especially because they match up with a weaker district in 22-6A for round 1. Finally, I have my player to watch, and I'm going with the most obvious choice because I simply can't resist. Earlier, I said I think Demetrius Davis could leave his name among the greatest to ever play in Texas by the end of the season. He already owns a large part of what will be remembered as one of the most iconic plays in state history after his Hail Mary won North Shore a state title in memorable fashion in 2018. I started covering the Houston area for our social media channels here at Inside High School Sports during Davis's sophomore year. While I haven't been working in high school sports for long, I've been around Texas high school football nearly my entire life. Davis' name is up there with the likes of Brandon Carter, Kyler Murray, and a familiar name in Devonna Chain as some of my favorites I've ever had the pleasure of watching. Davis and his running mate Shadrack Banks are the key to another state title at North Shore, one that would put the Mustangs' name in rarefied air in the state right next to Allen. The numbers speak for themselves. 2 straight state championships, including the title of national champs in 2018, led in part by my player to watch, Demetrius Davis. That's all I have for this week as we start to wind down our district previews leading up to the start of the season, and I couldn't be more excited. Back to you, Ashley.
Matt, great insight as always. Thank you. I'll see you next week. That's all we have for this week's edition of the Campfire. Come back every Monday for a new show. Until next time, though, follow our social media accounts. We have Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. That'll be covering all things 21-6A. I'm Ashley Bullington, and thank you so much for watching the Campfire.